Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Hearthstone Ladder Climb. My name's Ikkaris, this is Ikkaris Gaming, and this is episode 5 of our series where we review my gameplay as I try to climb all the way to Legend. So again, today we are going to stick with our Recruit Hunter that we've used for episodes 1 through 4. We're starting off at rank 16 with 3 stars, jumping in, and today we're matched up against a Druid, which is one of the strongest classes in all of Hearthstone right now. There's just so many, there's so many variations on Druid that are strong, with Token Druid and Hand Druid, not so much getting played right now, but you have Taunt Druid, you have Big Druid, that's a kind of an offshoot of Taunt Druid. There's a lot of stuff going on with Druid right now that's pretty strong. So anytime we see Druid, first priority is try to figure out what type of deck they're running. Are they Hand Druid? Are they Taunt Druid? Are they Big Druid? Are they Token Druid? It's pretty important to figure out what you're going up against so that you can try to play around it. Starting hand with a Stitch Tracker, Deathstalker Rexxar, Seeping Oozeling, not the greatest. We have to give up basically 2 turns to be able to play a card here. But having Stitch Tracker, Saronite, Chain Gang is a nice thing to play on 3-4. Now we draw Keleseth, which is awesome on turn 2. We didn't really have anything there. We could have hero powered, but now with Keleseth, all of our minions are going to be buffed, which is great. So now we can sort of play on the curve for the next 2 turns with the Stitch Tracker, Saronite, Chain Gang. Hopefully have something for 5 by the time it comes around, and then we'll see. One thing that we're keeping in the back of our minds here is with Deathstalker Rexxar, if this is Token Druid and he's going to try to fill the board with all these little minions and buff them, Deathstalker Rexxar could be completely devastating as a counter to that. So we're going to keep that in the back of our mind. Pay attention to what he does here over the next few turns. If we think that it is Token Druid, we'll probably hold on to Deathstalker Rexxar until he fills the board up, and then we can just wipe it. So Stitch Tracker gives us Lich King, Firefly, King Krush. Again, as with the previous episodes, see Lich King, take Lich King. He's just so strong. So, let's see. He's going to use the coin here into Oaken Summons. So we can be pretty sure it's looking a lot like Taunt Druid. Now, we just don't know what variation it is. If it's standard Taunt Druid, if it's Big Druid, that's going to pull out the Dragon Catcher, or Master Oakheart with Hadronox. It can be pretty spooky. So we're trying to track all the cards that he's playing as it comes out. So we're just going to go Saronite Chain Gang, because again, with this deck, it's kind of about sustaining until you can get your big minions onto the board, which for now would be on about turn 6. So another Ironwood Golem. We know he has both out on the board, so we don't have to be too concerned about it later on. So this turn, we're probably thinking we can just trade Keleseth and Stitch Tracker into that first Ironwood Golem. Get rid of that. And then probably just play Flanking Strike. Oh, actually we decided to go Hero Power and leave it there. Sorry, I have this game was played a few days ago, so we're going to be kind of watching this again together almost for the first time. So for the next turn, we're probably thinking here to go Seeping Oozeling. Even though we can't play the Play Dead combo, Taunt Druid typically doesn't run a lot of silence, so we don't have to be too worried about it. We can kind of play that, which we do, and then next turn, we can do the Play Dead, trade it into the Rotten Apple Bomb, and get 2 minions out of it. 2 big minions, because you can see it's 2 beasts. So we can either get the second Ultrasaur, we can get King Krush, we can get a Charged Devilsaur, we could even get Witchwood Grizzly, which would be fine. So we can get pretty good value, and thankfully he does decide to just go face here rather than trading into my minions. Or my minion, rather. So we're definitely thinking here to do Play Dead on the Oozeling, which will bring out one of our beasts, which is great, the Charged Devilsaur. Now we can trade Oozeling in. We just go ahead and play Houndmaster Shaw just to play it, to use the mana effectively so we can do 4 and then 2 with the hero power. Brings out our second Charged Devilsaur, which you can go face with, which is fantastic. Hero power. And that's a pretty good turn. That is the exact type of turn you're looking for with this deck. Get the maximum value out of your death rattles to bring out your massive big minions. So next turn we're probably thinking Lich King. We don't need to go Deathstalker Rexxar here. We wouldn't really get that much value off of it unless he goes ahead and plays like a Whispering Woods or something that fills his board with small minions. So we're just kind of waiting to see what he does here. We always have to be watching out for Naturalize, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We still did get, we were able to attack face with that, and it gives us 2 cards. So not the end of the world. And so, see, this is a bit of a problem for him. I've got 2 Lich Kings in my hand, so I can play Lich King, and then next turn, Lich King, Candleshot, and be in a really good position. So I got no complaints on this turn. That's a pretty good turn. Lich King gives us Frostmourne, which is one of my favorite cards. Always nice. And so we're getting to the point of the game now, around, with it being turn 8, where we start to be a little bit, and so here's the second Naturalize, which is pretty good. Although I think he's close to, he's filled up my hand here, which is not great because we're gonna have to burn a card here, but we're in a pretty strong position. We've got Deathstalker Rexxar, Lich King, Frostmourne, Ultrasaur. We have a lot to work with in our hand here, so it's not too bad. It's not great, but it's also not the end of the world. But we know now that he also has burned both Naturalizes and one of the Spellstones. So we lose a Play Dead. Again, not too bad because we don't really have anything that needs it. At this point, when we play Kathrena, we still get, pretty good value off of her anyway. Not the end of the world. So we just go ahead and taunt up. And so the reason we go hero power here instead of the Firefly Flame Elemental for that last 2 mana, we're thinking about spreading Plague. We don't want to overextend and have to deal with all of a sudden we've got 5 1/5 taunt minions. And so now he starts to get into his big minions. He's got the Lich King, but as we were talking about in the previous episode, in episode 4, we've got the excellent removal combo. We can go Hunter's Mark, Candleshot, get rid of his Lich King, not take a single damage, and we can still play another Lich King of our own. Which I believe we do here. At least that's what I would, now that I'm reviewing this. Oh, we go Frostmourne instead. So I guess my logic was, again, spreading Plague. I haven't seen that yet. So I want to play around that. I don't want to get too far overextended and have to clear, a massive board. So we play a little patiently here. And plus, he's down to 6 HP. He could have another Branching Paths and add another 12 armor, but even so, that, we have enough damage. So he goes and burns quite a few cards here, which is rather unfortunate for him. You can see his deck is getting rather thin. So he's just drawing all the way through his deck, but we'll see. Most druids like this are trying to set up a big combo. He obviously didn't have it, had to burn a few cards, and just wasn't equipped to deal with the board presence. And seeing as how we had the Lich King, we had Ultrasaur, you know, we had all the cards in that hand. So we've gone ahead and picked up another victory. We've gone to rank 16 with, I believe, 4 stars. We'll check it out. Yeah, 16 with 4 stars. So on the next one, we'll try to get another one.